That jar of mayonnaise sitting in your refrigerator right now is not what you think it is. The creamy white condiment you spread on sandwiches and mix into salads is lying to you in ways that could actually harm your health. Right now, major brands are labeling products as real mayonnaise while they contain absolutely zero eggs. Companies are printing "made with olive oil" in huge letters across the front of their jars, when soybean oil is actually the primary ingredient hiding in the back. Manufacturers are deliberately hiding sugar behind FDA label rounding loopholes that specifically target and exploit diabetics who depend on accurate nutrition. Information to manage life-threatening blood sugar conditions. This is not minor marketing exaggeration or creative advertising. It's a systematic deception affecting your health every single day you use these products. I spent weeks investigating America's mayonnaise brands, reading ingredient labels under bright lights, studying FDA regulations and loopholes, analyzing nutrition facts panels, and comparing what companies boldly claim on their front labels against what they actually put inside the jars. What I discovered will make you walk straight to your refrigerator right now and check every single condiment label you own. The mayonnaise industry is systematically built on legal loopholes. Misleading marketing designed by psychologists. An ingredient deception that specifically targets the most vulnerable populations who need honest information most. People with severe food allergies who could die from mislabeled ingredients. Diabetics managing dangerous blood sugar levels. Individuals fighting painful chronic inflammation. And families simply trying to make healthier choices for their children are all being systematically deceived by brands they have trusted for decades. In the next 15 minutes, I am going to expose exactly which 7 mayonnaise brands are lying to you with hidden ingredients, false labeling, and predatory marketing specifically designed to exploit your health concerns for corporate profit. By the end, you will know precisely which mayo to throw out today and what 5 brands actually deserve your trust and money. Worst number 1. Hampton Creek Just Mayo. Hampton Creek launched Just Mayo with bold promises that caught national attention and filled grocery store shelves across America. This was supposed to be revolutionary plant-based mayonnaise that tasted just like the real thing, and it was marketed with prominent egg imagery splashed across the front label, with the word mayonnaise displayed large and proud for every shopper to see clearly. The packaging looked legitimate and trustworthy. The marketing sounded convincing and innovative. Millions of American consumers brought this product into their homes, trusting completely that what they saw on the label matched what was actually inside that jar. The problem that eventually brought federal regulators directly to Hampton Creek's store was simple and legally devastating. This product was not legally mayonnaise at all. In August 2015, the Food and Drug Administration issued an official warning letter to Hampton Creek for misbranding their product in direct violation of federal food labeling law. The issue is straightforward and completely undeniable by any legal standard. By the legal definition, carefully established in federal regulations, mayonnaise must contain eggs as a primary ingredient. Just Mayo uses modified food starch instead of eggs, which means it fundamentally fails to meet the FDA's standard of identity for mayonnaise. The FDA stated clearly and officially in their warning letter that the product was misbranded and violated federal food labeling law. This was not a polite suggestion or friendly recommendation from regulators. This was the federal government officially telling a company that they were breaking the law with every single jar they manufactured and sold to American consumers. The front label featured prominent cracked egg visual imagery, creating the completely unmistakable impression that eggs were a key ingredient inside the product. Consumers shopping quickly through crowded grocery store aisles saw eggs prominently displayed on the label and naturally assumed eggs were included in the formula. But when you actually read the ingredient list, it told a completely different story. There were 0 eggs in Just Mayo, not reduced eggs to lower cholesterol, not egg substitutes or egg alternatives. Absolutely 0 eggs whatsoever. For consumers with severe egg allergies who rely entirely on accurate food labeling to avoid life-threatening allergic reactions, this was not just misleading marketing or creative advertising. This was genuinely dangerous to their health and safety. Avoid Hampton Creek Just Mayo completely, because any brand willing to violate federal labeling law does not deserve your trust. Worst number 2. Kraft Mayo with olive oil. Kraft Mayo with olive oil features large, bold, possible to miss text on the front label proclaiming Made with olive oil and letters specifically designed to catch your eye from completely across the grocery store aisle? The implication created by this prominent front label messaging is crystal clear and absolutely intentional. Olive oil is the primary ingredient in this mayonnaise. Olive oil is the base of this product. Olive oil is the main reason you should choose this jar over regular mayonnaise sitting right next to it. Olive oil is specifically why you are being asked to pay significantly more money than you would pay for standard Kraft mayonnaise. Everything about the packaging, design, and product positioning screams olive oil as the star ingredient. The healthy choice, the entire reason this premium product even exists on the shelf. The back label tells a completely different story that directly contradicts every impression. The front label deliberately created. When you actually flip the jar over and read the ingredient list printed in small text that most shoppers never bother examining carefully, you discover something absolutely shocking. The ingredients are listed in order of quantity exactly as required by federal law, and they read water first, then soybean oil second, then canola oil third, and then finally buried late in the list after multiple other ingredients, olive oil appears. Olive oil is not the primary fat source in this product. Olive oil is not even the secondary fat source. Olive oil is a minor addition included in quantities. It's barely large enough to make the front label claim technically legal under current FDA regulations. You are paying extra money specifically for olive oil marketing, while actually consuming primarily inflammatory seed oils and even banned trans fats. The formula is objectively worse than regular Kraft mayonnaise in multiple significant ways. Water is listed first in the ingredients, which means this product has noticeably less fat density and more cheap filler than traditional mayonnaise. The soybean and canola oils that actually make up the overwhelming majority of the fat content are inflammatory seed oils, extremely high in omega-6. Fatty acids that actively promote dangerous inflammation when consumed in the quantities typical of modern American diets. The olive oil that supposedly justified the premium pricing and created the entire health halo. Marketing impression is absolutely minimal, included in just barely enough quantity to make the deceptive label claim technically legal. And shockingly, this product still contains partially hydrogenated oils, which are trans fats that the FDA officially banned in 2015 for being too dangerous. Avoid Kraft mayo with olive oil completely because you are paying premium prices for deliberate deceptive marketing while actually consuming inflammatory oils and trans fats federal regulators banned. Worst number 3. Store brand mayo, store brand mayonnaise from Kroger. A Safeway, Target, and Walmart makes an implicit promise every single time you see that familiar packaging sitting on the grocery store shelf. The promise is simple, powerful, and exactly what budget-conscious shoppers depend on. Same label means same product, means same consistent quality every single time you buy it, without exception. This consistency is the entire value proposition of private label house brands that millions of families depend on. Consumers clearly understand they are not getting premium brand positioning or fancy marketing campaigns. They know they are not getting celebrity endorsements or expensive advertising budgets driving up costs. What they reasonably expect in exchange for paying lower prices is reliable. It's predictable, consistent quality they can absolutely count on week after week, month after month, year after year. The reality behind store brand mayonnaise is completely different and deeply deceptive in ways most consumers never imagine. Behind the scenes in corporate purchasing departments and supplier warehouses, store brands constantly rotate suppliers based entirely on contract bids and commodity pricing without any notification whatsoever to the consumers who depend completely on that promised consistency. Oil sourcing changes mid-year when one supplier underbids another, or when global commodity prices shift enough to make switching financially profitable. Preservative formulations rotate dramatically when different chemical manufacturers win new supply contracts. Ingredient suppliers swap constantly as purchasing departments relentlessly chase fractions of pennies per unit in cost savings. The label you see on the shelf stays exactly identical, but the actual formula inside that jar changes every few months based on supplier contracts you know absolutely nothing about and never agreed to accept. Safeway Signature Select Mayonnaise provides a perfect real-world example. Consumer Reports testing described greasy residue, wildly inconsistent texture between batches, and metallic aftertaste appearing and disappearing depending on purchase timing. One jar is perfectly acceptable. The next jar with identical labeling is nearly inedible. You are gambling every purchase, hoping this batch matches the last. Avoid store-brand mayo because you are gambling on quality with every single purchase, never knowing what you are actually getting. Worst number 4, Kraft Real Mayonnaise. Kraft Real Mayonnaise features prominent front label text that immediately catches your eye and communicates a powerful emotional message to every shopper. Real mayonnaise printed in bold, confident letters strongly suggests authenticity, simplicity, and genuine freshness. The word real deliberately creates powerful mental associations with grandmother's kitchen, with traditional family recipes passed down lovingly through generations. With mayonnaise made the old-fashioned way using simple ingredients you can easily recognize and actually pronounce. Real suggests this is the exact kind of mayonnaise your grandmother would have made herself in her own kitchen, just conveniently packaged in a modern jar, so you do not have to spend valuable time whisking eggs and oil together by hand. The actual product inside that jar is specifically engineered for industrial logistics and global supply chain efficiency. Absolutely not for freshness, quality, or anything remotely resembling grandmother's kitchen or traditional cooking. The formula uses soybean oil as the primary fat base, and this particular oil was definitely not chosen because it tastes best or provides optimal nutrition or creates superior mayonnaise flavor and texture. Soybean oil was chosen purely and exclusively for price considerations. It is the cheapest commodity oil available in the absolutely massive quantities required for industrial-scale food production spanning entire continents. The ingredient list includes calcium, disodium, EDTA, a chemical preservative that most ordinary consumers have never heard of and certainly would never find in any traditional homemade mayonnaise recipe from any culture. This preservative serves one specific purpose: protecting flavor during the 6 or more months this product will sit completely unrefrigerated in warehouses, shipping containers, distribution centers, and store backrooms. Real is purely a narrow legal term, not a quality promise. Avoid Kraft Real Mayonnaise because real is just a legal technicality, exploiting your nostalgia while delivering industrial formula. It's optimized for warehouses. Worst number 5. Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise. Sold as best foods west of the Rocky Mountains, is America's #1 mayonnaise brand by market share, trusted by millions of families and featured prominently in recipes, cookbooks, and restaurant kitchens across the entire country. This brand has built decades of consumer loyalty and strong brand recognition. When people think mayonnaise, they automatically think Hellmann's. That deep trust makes what this company does with its nutrition labeling especially harmful and genuinely dangerous to vulnerable populations. The nutrition facts panel on every jar of Hellmann's states clearly and prominently: 0 grams of carbohydrates and 0 grams of sugar. For diabetics carefully managing blood sugar levels, those zeros mean absolutely everything for their health. 0 carbs means 0 blood sugar impact. 0 sugar means this product is completely safe for diabetic meal planning and will not spike dangerous glucose levels. For people following ketogenic or other low-carb diets to manage weight, metabolic syndrome, or other serious conditions, 0 grams means this product fits perfectly into their carefully calculated daily carbohydrate limits. But the ingredient list printed on that same label tells a completely different and directly contradictory story. Sugar is clearly listed as an ingredient, right there in plain text. The explanation reveals a legal loophole the FDA allows manufacturers to exploit. Federal regulations permit food manufacturers to round down to 0 if a single serving contains less than 0.5 grams of sugar. Hellmann's contains approximately 0.4 grams of sugar per tablespoon serving, which is barely under the rounding threshold. If you use 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, which is completely normal for a sandwich, you are consuming 0.8 grams of sugar the nutrition label claims does not exist. Duke's mayonnaise, sold at the same exact price point, contains actual 0 sugar, with no sugar in the ingredient list at all. Same price, completely different level of honesty. Avoid Hellmann's because they exploit FDA rounding rules to hide sugar from diabetics who depend on accurate labeling for managing serious health conditions. Worst number 6. Vegan mayo, vegan mayonnaise brands like Vegenaise and Follow. Our heart are positioned prominently in the health food sections of grocery stores with wellness language, covering their packaging, organic imagery, suggesting purity and naturalness, and plant-based positioning that strongly implies superior health benefits compared to traditional animal-based products. The entire presentation creates a powerful health halo that tells shoppers they are definitely making a better choice for their bodies by choosing plant-based alternatives over conventional options. The implicit promise is clear and highly persuasive to health-conscious consumers. Plant-based means healthier overall. Plant-based means better for inflammation and chronic disease. Plant-based means cleaner ingredients without the cholesterol and animal fats associated with health risks. For people suffering from arthritis, autoimmune conditions, chronic pain, or other inflammatory conditions, these products seem like obvious better choices that could help their suffering. The research and actual nutritional analysis show exactly the opposite reality. These vegan mayonnaise products use approximately 80% seed oil as their base, which is actually higher than traditional mayonnaise that typically uses about 75% oil. That single tablespoon of vegan mayo contains 8 to 9 grams of linoleic acid, an omega-6 fatty acid. Compare that to regular egg-based mayonnaise containing approximately 6 grams. The vegan version marketed as healthier actually contains significantly more of the specific fatty acid directly linked to inflammation. The very people buying this product specifically to help manage their painful conditions are choosing something that objectively makes those conditions worse. The formulation requires significantly more additives to compensate for the absence of egg yolks, which naturally emulsify traditional mayonnaise. Vegan versions typically add modified food starch, xanthan gum, and various other gums and starches, not less. More inflammatory fats, not less. Avoid vegan mayo because despite health food positioning, they contain higher inflammatory seed oil and more additives than conventional mayo. Worst number 7. Hellmann's Light. Hellmann's Light. Mayonnaise is positioned as the healthier choice for people concerned about their health. Marketed with reduced fat labeling, fewer calories prominently displayed, and messaging suggesting it is better for blood pressure and cholesterol management. The light label creates the psychological impression that you are making a responsible health decision, choosing something genuinely better for your body than regular full-fat mayonnaise. This product is specifically marketed to people with heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, and inflammatory conditions who are desperately trying to make better choices to improve their health outcomes and quality of life. The reality is catastrophically worse than regular mayonnaise, in ways that specifically harm the exact populations this product deliberately targets. When manufacturers remove fat to create light or reduced fat versions, they must replace that fat with something else to maintain texture, consistency, and shelf stability. In Hellmann's Light, the reduced fat is replaced primarily with water and modified food starch, creating a formula that requires significantly more additives and stabilizers to hold together. The seed oil percentage is actually higher and more concentrated due to the fat reduction mathematics. The light texture feels less rich and satisfying, which triggers a dangerous behavioral trap. People use more of the light version because it does not provide the satiety and richness they expect from mayonnaise. They double scoop or add extra dollops to get the flavor and satisfaction they want, which means they end up consuming more sodium, more additives, and more inflammatory oils than if they had just used regular mayonnaise in normal portions. It contains the exact same hidden sugar as regular Hellmann's through the 0-gram rounding scam. Diabetics choosing light versions, thinking they are being extra careful, get absolutely no benefit regarding sugar content. The overall formula is objectively worse for inflammation, heart health, and metabolic conditions than regular full-fat mayonnaise. Avoid Hellmann's Light completely because it represents predatory design actively harming the people it claims to help. Best number 1. Trader Joe's mayonnaise after exposing 7 mayonnaise brands built on deception, hidden ingredients, legal loopholes, and predatory marketing. It is finally time to reveal the brands that actually deserve your trust and your hard-earned money. Trader Joe's mayonnaise is the first honest brand on this list. And what makes it genuinely honest is remarkably simple and refreshing. It does not make bold health claims, does not use fancy marketing language, does not pretend to be something it is not. It is positioned as straightforward, affordable mayonnaise, and that is exactly what it delivers without games or deception. The ingredient list matches what is actually in the jar, with transparency that should be standard but has become surprisingly rare. There is no hidden sugar beyond what is clearly listed in the ingredients. There are no misleading, made with claims suggesting primary ingredients that are actually minor additions. There are no label rounding tricks hiding carbs from diabetics. The formula is simple and readable with oil, eggs, vinegar, and salt. What you see on the label is genuinely what you get in the jar. Trader Joe's is not pretending this is health food or positioning it as a premium wellness product. It is mayonnaise made with soybean oil, which is inflammatory and not the healthiest option available, but they are completely honest about it. The label does not claim olive oil prominence when soybean oil dominates, does not use real or light positioning to create false health impressions. It is just mayonnaise, clearly labeled and fairly priced. For people who want mainstream mayonnaise without the lies, deception, and exploitation that define most major brands, Trader Joe's delivers honest simplicity at fair prices. You're paying for accurate labeling, consistent quality, and transparent ingredients. It's not marketing games designed to exploit your health concerns. Choose Trader Joe's for reliable, honest labeling and consistent quality at fair prices without the deception. Best number 2. Sours. Sours is a regional budget brand found primarily throughout the Southeast. Positioned as simple, affordable mayonnaise without any premium pretensions or fancy marketing claims whatsoever. This is honest budget mayo that does not pretend to be something it is not. Proving conclusively that cheap does not automatically require deception or exploitation of consumers who are simply trying to save money. In a market where most brands either lie about ingredients or charge premium prices for marginal improvements, Sours delivers straightforward value without playing games. The formula is straightforward with no hidden additives beyond standard preservatives that are clearly listed on the label. The ingredient list is transparent and readable without mysterious compounds or misleading terminology designed to obscure what is actually in the jar. There are no fake health claims suggesting benefits this product cannot deliver. There is no light or real positioning designed to create false impressions about quality or health impacts. Sours is the cheapest option in most stores where it is available. It's typically priced $1 to $2 less per jar than major national brands. And importantly, they do not use that budget positioning as cover to hide inferior ingredients behind misleading labels or deceptive marketing practices. It is cheap mayonnaise that is completely honest about being cheap mayonnaise. The value proposition is clear and straightforward without tricks. The soybean oil base means this is not winning any health awards or appearing on lists of most nutritious condiments available. But Sours is not claiming to win health awards either. They are not pretending this is health food or suggesting anti-inflammatory benefits. The flavor is less complex than premium brands, but it is consistent and predictable without surprises. For families on tight budgets who cannot afford premium mayonnaise but still need reliable condiments for everyday meals, Sours provides honest value. Choose Sours when you need budget-friendly mayo and want straightforward honesty without deception. Best number 3. Duke's Mayonnaise is a Southern heritage brand that has been making mayonnaise since 1917. And their formula proves that honesty and superior quality are not mutually exclusive, even at mainstream price points accessible to regular families. This is the mayonnaise that exposes Hellmann's label rounding scam for exactly what it truly is. Unnecessary deception that serves no purpose except exploiting vulnerable consumers, while a direct competitor proves the honest alternative is completely achievable. Duke's contains zero sugar, and this is not rounded to zero through FDA loopholes and legal tricks. This is actual genuine zero sugar that diabetics can trust completely. The ingredient list does not include sugar at all anywhere. Read every single ingredient printed on the label, and you will not find sugar. The nutrition facts panel shows 0 grams of carbohydrates because there are genuinely and truthfully 0 grams of carbohydrates in this product, not because of legal rounding tricks. The formula uses more egg yolks than standard mayonnaise recipes, creating noticeably creamier texture and richer flavor that you can taste immediately in side-by-side comparisons. The higher egg yolk content makes the mayonnaise more satisfying and gives it depth that products using minimum required egg content simply cannot match. Duke's also uses apple cider vinegar instead of the distilled white vinegar that most commercial mayonnaise contains, and this substitution adds complexity and tanginess. Duke's and Hellmann's are sold at exactly the same price point in stores that carry both brands. Same shelf, same aisle, same price tags. One brand hides sugar behind label rounding loopholes and uses minimum egg content. The other brand contains genuine zero sugar and uses more egg yolks, delivering objectively superior flavor. Same price. Completely different levels of integrity and honesty. Choose Duke's for honest mainstream mayo, proving deception is unnecessary. Best number 4, Primal Kitchen. Primal Kitchen avocado oil. Mayo is positioned as a health-focused alternative to seed oil mayonnaise, and unlike most health-positioned products that exploit wellness trends while delivering inferior formulas, this brand actually delivers the genuine health benefits it promises without deception. This is mayonnaise designed specifically to address the inflammation problems that seed oil mayonnaise creates. And the formula backs up the marketing claims with real nutritional improvements. The base is avocado oil, not soybean or canola. And this single change creates massive health benefits for people with inflammation. That single tablespoon of Primal Kitchen mayo contains approximately 1.5 grams of linoleic acid compared to 6 grams in conventional seed oil mayonnaise. This is a dramatic reduction in inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids that research has linked to chronic inflammation throughout the body, for people with arthritis suffering from joint pain and stiffness, for people with autoimmune conditions fighting overactive immune responses. This difference is measurable and meaningful. The ingredient list is clean and transparent with avocado oil, organic eggs, organic vinegar, and sea salt. No hidden sugars, disguised through rounding tricks. No label games pretending primary ingredients are something they are not. No preservatives designed to keep products shelf-stable through 6 months of unrefrigerated warehouse storage. Research extensively supports the health claims surrounding avocado oil. It is primarily monounsaturated fat, the same type of beneficial fat found in olive oil, that has been associated with reduced inflammation markers and improved cardiovascular health outcomes in numerous studies. Primal Kitchen charges premium prices, typically $7 to $9 per jar, and actually delivers premium ingredients that create genuine health benefits. Compare this to vegan mayo at $5 to $7 with worse inflammation profiles. You are paying for real health benefits backed by nutritional science, not marketing lies. Choose Primal Kitchen when inflammation is a real concern and you want mayo that truly addresses the problem. Best number 5, Kewpie Mayonnaise. Kewpie Mayonnaise is a Japanese heritage brand founded in 1919, and it represents everything American mayonnaise should be but is not. This is honest labeling, superior ingredients, and quality proven by blind taste tests rather than marketing budgets and misleading health claims. Kewpie has been making mayonnaise for over 100 years using essentially the same formula, proving conclusively that when you get it right, you do not need constant reformulation and cost optimization that destroys quality. The formula uses 100% egg yolks, with absolutely no egg whites included at all. Most American mayonnaise uses whole eggs to reduce costs, but egg whites contribute nothing to flavor or texture, while egg yolks provide the richness, creaminess, and emulsification that makes great mayonnaise. Kewpie uses only yolks, creating texture and flavor that is immediately noticeable and superior to American alternatives. The MSG umami seasoning is disclosed upfront, clearly in the ingredient list, not hidden behind vague terms like natural flavors or spices that American brands use to obscure MSG content. Japanese food culture understands that MSG is a flavor enhancer that adds depth and satisfaction. Kewpie lists it honestly, allowing consumers to make informed choices rather than hiding ingredients. The product contains zero sugar, clearly stated and genuinely true, without rounding tricks. The smaller jar size of 12 ounces matches actual spoilage rates and home usage patterns rather than optimizing for warehouse logistics. The formula has remained essentially unchanged since 1919, with no reformulations chasing cost savings. Blind taste tests consistently rank Kewpie at or near #1 position across multiple testing organizations. Tasting Table's comprehensive mayonnaise ranking placed Kewpie at the absolute top. You are paying for actual quality proven by taste, not marketing. Choose Kewpie for the absolute best mayo, proving century-old quality commitment creates excellence. The mayonnaise aisle is where legal loopholes meet consumer trust, and most brands exploit that gap ruthlessly and systematically for profit. 7 brands have been exposed for deception, ranging from FDA violations to predatory targeting of vulnerable populations who depend on accurate information. Hampton Creek violated federal labeling law with 0 eggs despite egg imagery. Kraft hides soybean oil dominance behind olive oil marketing. Store brands deliver inconsistent formulas behind consistent labels. Kraft Real optimizes for warehouses, not health. Hellmann's exploits sugar rounding to deceive diabetics. Vegan mayo increases inflammation while claiming plant-based health benefits. Hellmann's Light represents the absolute worst, actively harming sick people it targets. 5 honest brands prove integrity is possible at every price point. Trader Joe's delivers straightforward simplicity. Sours provides honest budget value. Duke's exposes deception as unnecessary with 0 sugar and superior flavor at mainstream prices. Primal Kitchen solves inflammation with avocado oil. QP represents the gold standard with century-old quality. Your sandwich deserves better than mayonnaise that lies. Demand transparency. Support honest companies. Check your refrigerator today, throw out the deceptive brands, and choose honesty, starting now. Every purchase is a vote for the food system you want. Now keep your standards high and your condiments honest.